everyone, and welcome to Bronicles or Bronicles of Tyria, episode number 54. Guild Wars 2 podcast for bros by bros, and for fans by fans. Plus, Naveen is also here.
Hey guys.
So, check this out. We've got some new faces. Some of you they may be familiar to. Others, they'll be brand new. So, welcome, Memory Burn and Brahms.
Woo!
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So, just a little heads up. Kaysee couldn't be here, and Kaysee lied to me and told me Naveen couldn't be here.
Yeah, what was up with that? I get an email today saying, yeah, so apparently you and Casey's not going to be on the show tonight, so I brought two other people on the podcast. I'm like, what's going on? Someone wants to get rid of me?
She's trying to drag you down with her.
Yeah. I don't know what was going on there. And then I was like, all right, we're going to do Bro Show, Bronicles of Tyria, and then Naveen's like, wait, I'm going to be there, and I was like, oh, well, okay, never mind then. Casey's a liar.
See, did you hear the disappointment in Lagwyn's voice? Oh, okay. You're going to be there.
No, I love having Naveen here. Also, I don't have to do any work if Naveen's here, too. Like, I don't have to do any of the streaming and set up the background, any of that. That's all on Naveen, so awesome.
Oh! MG.
But today's show, we're going to be talking about the stuff we have for the patch that's coming up. We're going to be talking about the new blog post that blew everybody's mind today. If you didn't read it, go read it right now, or wait and we'll talk about it. And maybe some other stuff if we've got time at the end. Yeah. So, let's jump right into question of the week from last week. I asked, who are you voting for, Evan Nashblade or Ellen Keel, and why? Maybe should have waited till we got more information, because now a lot of things have changed since then, and we know a lot more. But let's talk about the responses that we got. So we got 3. Actually, I think we got some on YouTube. Naveen, did you see any?
I didn't check.
Can you check? I'm gonna read. I know we got at least one. I'm gonna read through these other ones.
I remember deleting bot spam stuff, and then I forgot to check for that. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'll keep going. So we got one from Marnek, who's responded before and said, I'm voting for Ellen Keel for 3 reasons. She has a better history, waypoint cost. Do you really believe Evan Nashblade is going to keep his promises? Yes, I do.
That was easy. Like your mom, what?
Honesty in politicians is almost unheard of. I do think Ellen is going to keep a promise or two. Again, at this point, we didn't know that waypoint cost would only be for 4 weeks. We didn't know really any specifics, so keep that in mind. Robovin said, Team Nashblade for the win, down with Keel.
That is mean.
I was going to make a promo vid for Evan, but ANET beat me to it. The slander vid for Keel contained everything I was saying last Thursday. I really do think it's a one-time influential thing. As Captain's Council, it's a pretty big deal. It had also confirmed that what the devs were saying about players actually having a lasting impact on the living world as we know it. I mean, come on, research into the fall of Abaddon, potential to relive taking down Abaddon with Cormyr, or even his fall during the God Wars. Both sound pretty awesome to me. To clarify on that, it is the first time that Abaddon fell. So when the gods kicked him out of Tyria and sent him to the Realm of Torment, that is what we'd be playing through if you go for Evan Nashblade. So, go for Evan Nashblade. So he also recorded our guild missions last Saturday, which I wasn't there for.
Yeah, that's true. I wanted to make a snippet. Oh well.
I heard it was hilarious, and rather than take up everybody's time here, he recorded the whole thing, and it's on his YouTube, so we will link that in the description. I'll actually post it for those of you here in the Twitch chat right now, because
I can hear feedback.
Yeah?
Yep.
I don't know. Whatever. We'll keep going. If we don't stall, nobody will hear the feedback. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that.
So yeah, that's the, I just posted the video on the Twitch. We'll post that in the description, but it's a long video, so, maybe we'll show it. Apparently, skip ahead to 7 minutes and 21 seconds for convenience sake. Oh, he has a link for us that skips ahead to that, but sorry, buddy, can't show. It's gonna take all night, so we got stuff to talk about. We got a new person who's never commented before, and I'm gonna go with Lord Junow because his real name's harder to pronounce, or her name.
But he did before.
Did he?
Yeah, it's just it's not the same name. It was on his Twitter account,
Okay.
and I did 2 shoutouts for him. But yeah, anyways, read it.
I'll be voting for Captain Ellen Keel. Why do you ask? Because she had and still does try to protect the people of South Sun Cove, even if it meant putting her life at risk. During that time, Nashbade was busy filling his coffers with our gold, and he still continues to do so. I really hope that the vote will go without any interruption to the election whatsoever, and that one of them, Ellen, will be the new member of the Captain's Council. Thank you for the awesome podcast, and keep up the good work.
You're welcome, thank you!
Yeah, so, it looks, again, like a lot of people are liking Ellen Keel. Whatever, you guys are noobs.
What? You're calling me a noob? You want to fight? I know where you live.
To be so wrong.
It doesn't feel wrong, because it's my opinion, and it's not wrong.
But your opinion is wrong.
And I'll echo back what I've said before. You know that the fractal that Ellen Keel's working on has to deal with the explosion of the Thaumanova reactor in, what is that, Metrica Province? I don't really care about explosion. People are like, oh, there's different zones or different things, and I'm like, Asuras have gate travel that takes you to different places anyway. What if an Asura gate just blew up and now it's constantly open? I want to see Abaddon fall. What if, like the Char Ascalon fractal, where you get transformed into Char, the 5 members of the party get transformed into the other 5 gods, and you throw Abaddon out? What about that?
Yeah, but what happens if Abaddon can go back through the gate somehow, and then he comes into our world and destroys everything?
Well, it would be interesting because we defeated him in our world. So maybe Cormier will show up and kill him. Maybe he'll actually do something for once. Maybe. But anyway, did you see if we had anybody on our YouTube by any chance, Naveen?
Nope. We have a lot of people on our YouTube. New comments though? I don't know.
Okay, let me just look real quick.
I'm
sorry, iTunes. Yeah. Alright, what do we got? Yes, we do. I got them right here. Oh, that person with the name XOIEA. All that. Ellen Keel, I'm in the midst of finishing world completion, and that would include going back and forth from event to event in Lion's Arch. Waypoint cost is very helpful. Thimble's Edge, I like Keel, but I have to say that getting the Flame and Frost dungeon would totally sell me on voting for Evan. However, that said, it would be cool if voting is by server. Like, if my server elected Evan, it would be possible for a different server to elect Keel.
That would be great.
Can we do a write-in ballot for Moto and more Super Adventure Box? I would like to point out that we'll get to this later, but Colin Johansson said this is going to be not server dependent. This is going to be across all servers, but they are planning on working on stuff in the future that will be server based. So there will be things like that. You know, I don't know in what aspect, but that will be happening later on. So that's that. All right, so let's throw up a spinner here. I did have it ready, and we'll see how much gold is coming out of my pocket. Thanks to my chest that I got today, I got 15 more to give away.
I'll send some gold to you.
No, it's okay. I just like bitching about it. It doesn't really bother me, though.
You're secretly a woman.
Yes, sure. Why not? Alright, so here we go. Spinner.
Hey, I just noticed a book in the spinner. How lame am I? How lame? Oh! 2 gold!
And the 2 gold is going to go to... I have to be non-biased. I also need to switch this back to me. Instead of everybody seeing my windows open here.
Wrong one.
God damn it. There we go. Alright. So, I think I want to give it to RoboVin because he voted for Evan Nashblade.
Non-biased vote. Yeah, okay, whatever.
But in seriousness though, I did like his description for reasoning why. But, yeah. So it's going to Robo-Vin.
Yeah, that's a good reason.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost believable.
You're about to have a mutiny on your hands.
Uh-huh.
Bring it.
Okay.
Like to, just a shout out to Pirate from our guild who was trying to help Naveen out, finding...
That was my shout out. Oh well.
Oh, sorry. I
No,
didn't
it's
know if
okay.
you were going to get to that.
Finish it. If you're gonna start
No.
something.
No, we'll wait till the end. Okay, hey! Shoutouts. Yeah. Let's talk about shoutouts.
Woohoo!
Alright, Memory Burn, you got any shoutouts?
Yeah. Shout out to Alucardolina and Lovegood and Amy who've taken me back to Guild Wars 1 the last couple days. I've never played it before. I got an account in November. It sat there. Just got my password situation sorted out yesterday, and going back there. Hopefully, get some Hall of Monument stuff. So, and yeah, showing me around, showing me old stuff that's in Guild Wars 2 now. It's pretty cool to see. So, shout out to them.
Nice.
Alright.
Cricket.
Brahms, how about you?
I have two. The first one is to everybody that has been doing the Sanctum Sprint that was nice enough to wait at the end and let other people get first place.
Aw.
There's been so many people that I can't obviously name all of them, but almost every time I've been in there, there's been people that have been helping other people, which is awesome. The other person is Commander Choo Choo in our EV Borderlands. She's, or he, I actually don't know, is one of the best commanders that we have, and it's like anytime we have Choo Choo as our commander, we actually manage to take over most of the borderland. So I think people like that should get shout outs.
Alright.
Nice.
So, Naveen, how about you?
I have a shout out to Pirate. Wow.
Alright.
Yeah, you didn't know that. Because I was trying on the last podcast. I'd mentioned I wanted the karaoke version of one song, and he showed me a way to like reduce the vocals in one song and whatnot. But it didn't work. I actually tried. I tried Parrot's version, and then a few other version that I found on Google. But not on Google, but through Google. I opted for a piano version, and then that was it. Didn't want to complicate my life. And then I do have another shout out to John Coppola, I think. I can't remember his last name. Coppola! From Striker Computers, because he actually made the first vector of what our logo is going to look like on his PC. And I'm going to post that link in the chat room so that you guys can go see. For those listening on iTunes, I will put a description in our CoTPodcast.com page, so just head there. And then I had another shout out to Christina, because she said that I did the best link, how do you call it? Best link, impersonation voice, whatever. Best link voice of all time of when he died. Last episode. So I can't redo it, so you'll just have to go listen to the last episode. I think it's like at 7 minutes or something. So, and then that's about it. That's it for me. No more shout outs.
Alright. Good set of shout outs. This is the vector, by the way, for those of you watching live.
That looks awesome.
I posted it on the page.
I know, I've got it there too.
Okay.
So, no, it's fine. Doesn't matter. We're switching back. So,
Fine.
I had a couple of shout outs that I wanted to give. One is to a group of people who helped me recently get my Dungeon Master title, which would be to Memory Burn, who's here with me right now, Lovegood, Kier, and Cinda, who all helped me beat the final path of Ara that I've been just waiting on to do for forever. So thank you guys for helping me get that. And a shout out to Godric Hollows for his comment on our last podcast that said, I mother flippin' love you guys. Haha. Less than 3. Another fantastic smile-inducing podcast.
Aww.
So, thank you for that, Godric. Alright, so, I'll just write this down. So
Wait, I think I had another shout out, but I can't remember. Oh man, I think it's on YouTube. I'm going through it. I can't find it. Oh, maybe I do. No, I don't. Okay, never mind.
Okay, nothing on iTunes?
No, we don't have anything on iTunes. What's up, hundreds of thousands of millions of listeners who don't leave reviews or comments? What's up?
Yes, if you are watching or listening to us on iTunes, you want to watch us live, Thursday nights, 9 p.m., twitch.tv/Chronicles of Tyria. I'm joined in all the live craziness. Just a reminder, again, a new drawing with Joel came out on Monday. It was the drawing of my Sylvari character that won one of the costume contests. So that was so she'll be dealing with the winners from that and the winners from the human contest when she gets back from vacation in 2 weeks. So you've got a little bit of extra time to submit your human drawings and your Sylvari drawings. So be sure to do that. And that way you'll get promoted on her show. So awesome news for that. Again, ArenaNet's still looking to get 1 million likes on Facebook, so we get a bunch of in-game stuff. Everybody likes free stuff.
Everybody
They're
has
really
to
close
share.
now, I think.
Pardon me?
I think they're really close now. They were like 972,000 when I looked today.
Look, I'm looking right now, and it says 940,000.
Oh, alright, well, give or take 30,000 then.
Well, maybe that's just not an updated page. Yeah, I got 900. I'm coming up with 940. But still, that's when we promoted that last week. They were at like 910. That's like 30,000 likes in a week. When we know they just sold 3 million copies of the game, so there's at least 3 million. Well, probably at least 1 million users that haven't liked it on Facebook. So.
What everybody needs to do on Facebook is to share that thing, tell everyone to go like Guild Wars, wait for them to send us our stuff, and if they want to unlike it, it's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
I want free stuff.
It's free stuff, guys. Everybody loves free stuff.
Yeah.
What if we all just create a bunch of fake Facebook accounts and just like it? And
I mean, there's nothing stopping us from doing that.
That's
yeah.
right.
Just like not like creating a bunch of fake YouTube accounts to then subscribe to your podcasts on YouTube. Yeah. So, think everybody knows what time it is
Oh, yeah.
now.
State of mind time.
So, after the success of last week and the introduction of this hard hat and pick, I can't not continue this every single week.
Absolutely.
So, I'd like to point out that last week we talked about how flutes were data mined, and now flutes are available in the game. So just another explanation of how things that we found ahead of time in mining through the .dat files turns out to actually appear in-game. So, just in case you're wondering about speculation on all this. So, there was not, it wasn't actual substantial in-game previews and chat codes that were unveiled, but over 100 different icons for things were data mined, and we're talking. Let me post the link here in the chat because there's a ton of new icons, a bunch of new armor skin looking icons, all the Aetherblade icons, the Aetherblade weapon icons, banners for Ellen Keel and Evan Nashblade. There's little token looking things that look like them as well. And on the second page, if I remember correctly, if I can click to the second page here, we've got images for the two new back pieces. There's a third back piece. There's a bunch of new looking buffs and debuffs, or buffs and conditions, which are believed to be tied to the two new mini games that are going to be coming out next week. And there's also and all the new skills tied to those as well. And on the front page, there's a new booster icon. About halfway down, it's like a finger pointing up like this. So what could that be? A brand new booster type that they would unveil. I hope it's not like a swim speed booster like we got in South Sun Cove. Because who uses that? I want to know who bought that.
I have 600 of them, man. They're awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Fishbaits in the chat here says maybe it's a level boosting booster, but it's a booster, so chances are it would stay around. Although after today's chest reveal that we got for achievement points, boosting things by levels is highly likely. Since, what is that, the massive achievement chest it was called?
Yeah, the massive chest.
Yeah.
The massive achievement chest, for those of you who don't know, gives you an item that will auto-level any character that's under level 20 to level 20. So, it blew my mind before.
Saves us so many hours of gameplay.
I know, and that
Of
means
useless personal story stuff. No, I'm kidding. I love personal story. Please don't take it out of the game.
well, we're gonna get to some interesting stuff later about Addition's personal story as well. So, Citrus Robot in the chat says Kaysee looks so strange.
Yeah, she has glasses now. What?
Yeah. So that
What's my you cheeky bugger?
I think
Nice.
we're British, but
Whatever.
it's all good.
You had to add a good day at the end. Or
Yeah.
beginning, I don't know.
Shrimp on Barbie.
Crikey.
There you go.
She never says that.
So
She likes tables. That's it.
She does. Oh my God, there's tables here. Well, that was it, guys. I didn't have a lot of data mine stuff. I was scrounging around trying to find things, but
That's cool.
yeah. But I still have to make sure I keep bringing the hat back
Mm-hmm.
because it's becoming an integral part of the podcast.
Hopefully we'll have Datamon stuff every week.
Yeah. This is just some quick topic I wanted to talk about that people were talking about, and I feel I felt this way over the course of the almost year the game's been out. A lot of missed merchandise opportunities on ArenaNet's part. Because they make a decent amount of money, obviously enough to be giving us brand new awesome content every 2 weeks based on microtransaction sales, presumably, and 3 million game sales, but where's the merchandise? Like the Guild Wars 2 merchandise. If you go to their website, you can buy a stuffed char, one of 3 books, and giant wall skin things, but they're only of the 5 members of Destiny's Edge. Like,
Can somebody buy me Logan Thackeray?
I almost did.
I will
might.
shout out to you every single episode.
You need a Logan Factory body pillow. It'd be awesome.
Oh, oh my god. Put
we
it
never get
between
that
me and
place
my
again.
husband. That would suck, though.
I would like to point out that Alec Bartolina in the chat says, yes, and I remember this. You guys remember in the beginning they had voting for what t-shirt would you like to see?
Yeah.
They never released the t-shirt. So,
Scumbag ArenaNet.
It's
but someone here on Red Phoenix on Reddit said, I feel like there's a lot of missed opportunities. The upcoming Cutthroat Politics expansion is a perfect chance for money to be made. How many of you would like to have the vote for blank posters and buttons that were sent to some of the sites that preview the updates? I most certainly would purchase the posters, button, lanyards, shirts, etc. if they were available. Is there a way we can form and push ArenaNet to give us such things? And then this person said, now imagine if you could purchase that poster and then put it with gems and put it in player housing that doesn't exist. So in your player housing, you could have like a vote for Evan Nashblade poster in your player housing. I think that would be awesome. I feel like there's a lot of things that they miss out on. Like we see in some of the pictures, like, oh, here's an ArenaNet Guild Wars 2 like beer stein, and here's like a drawstring backpack or a lanyard. Like, I would buy most of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Why-
Haley in the chat room just mentioned real-life Quaggin backpacks, which I know would sell tons.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Quaggin and char backpacks. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean just merchandise in general. That's like I feel like we're totally missing out on their shop. They should just take it down. It's not even I don't know anybody that goes there other than to buy the stuffed Charlie, right? That was his name.
Yeah. Is it? Can you still buy it, or is it still like out of stock or whatever?
The chances are it's probably in limbo with the T-shirt.
Limbo.
Let me check right now. I'll go there and we'll see, because you can buy the game Char plush, buy now. Oh, you can buy it. You can buy it. It says you can buy it, but I love that they don't have their own proprietary shop software. Like, to buy the Char plush, it directs you to Penny Arcade, and then you can buy it from Penny Arcade's store.
Yeah, and then
like
if you want the mouse and the headset and the mouse pads, you have to go to the Steel Series. Is it the Steel Series website, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steel Series, yeah.
If you want to buy the wall skins, you have to go to the company that makes the wall skins site. Like, do we need to set up a Cafe Press site?
I was just thinking about that. Nice. Yeah, but it'd be nice to have some merchandise. I would definitely put a giant 2 logo, like the Dragon number 2 like logo on the back of my car.
So I'm saying you can put that in varying sizes. People will put that on your wall. You'll put that on on a notebook, whatever, on a laptop, on your car window, bumper sticker, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know there's a lot of very passionate Guild Wars players that would easily buy, even if it was just like the number 2, like the Guild, like you said, the Dragon 2. But like, I mean, they have like their dev shirts, which is just a white shirt with the dragon on it. I know tons of people that would just buy that T-shirt. It's a simple Guild Wars T-shirt.
Yeah.
It's free advertising for them too. It seems kind of silly that they're not. Yeah, they have like nothing you can have that really shows that you enjoy the game.
So, I don't know. But let's keep moving on, so we're not getting stuck up on missed merchandise opportunities. Just recently, Guild Wars, one of the people that's working on Guild Wars 1 came out and said it's possible for Guild Wars 1 to run indefinitely because of all the automated stuff that they've added to the game, and the fact that they're not devoting resources to it, and it doesn't cost anything to play it, that it could just perpetually run forever. And like, I think that that's awesome. They're saying there is still, I think that it was, let me see if I can find his exact quote, where it sounded like maybe they'll go back and do stuff in Guild Wars 1. I think it was just a turn of phrase. But they're not necessarily making new content right now, but there is a team that is monitoring. There are massive issues they're taking care of, and they're supporting them. But that's about it. But it sounds like there's a potential to go back and make new content, but I doubt it. They pretty much, that's contradictory of their other blog post that says we're not making new content. So, but there's a lot of people that still love Guild Wars 1, and as Memory Burn knows, some of us are going back to it now for the first time ever.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, just a quick update. I'll post this in the chat room, and we'll post a link to this as well. If you guys, I know the flutes just came out, and there's also the bell and the horn. I just posted a link that's basically a compilation of all the musical notes on how to play them on all those instruments. Because I did see a lot of people complaining that, can I spend 1,600 gems and buy magical earplugs so I don't have to hear you play your flute?
Jeez. The horn flute is, not the horn, is it called a horn flute? No, the trombone.
There's a horn and a flute.
Oh, I knew that. No, I bought the flute. I just didn't get the other instrument because it was so freaking annoying. Every time I would go to Lion's Arch and just stand at my bank, there's always this one little person that's always like, and then I'm like, oh my god, screw you. Seriously, I hate
was
you.
one of the people that are playing the highest note and they just have it held down for hours.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I really... No, I can't. Speaking of little annoying people, I'll just do like a thing there. Not an air quote.
Parentheses.
Parentheses, yeah, thank you. freaking kites that we have to go look for. And then, you know what happened? Like me, Kaysee, a bunch of people, my husband were there. We wanted to go to get the kites that you have to go through Alteria, and then you have to go to the mist to get a certain one. And then we get all the way up to the puzzle, no portals or anything, like all of our tears and sweat and hard work, because I really suck at jumping puzzles. And then you get there, and then the other frickin', what were their names? Oh, it's not even, no, I'm not even, no.
Oh, never mind.
Not even, no, I was gonna say the guild names, because there were two guilds there, just waiting for us to just jump and go get the kite, and they just like, kill us.
Yeah.
BAM! I'll tap out your ass. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was...
Pissed off.
She's talking about the World versus Kite-based achievement.
Yes.
Which is where you have to go into the jumping puzzle in Obsidian Sanctum, and you get almost all the way to the end where there's that dome above the room with all the creatures below it, and the kite's on top of it. They let us get all the way to the top, and once we got out of there, then they killed us.
I didn't even get the kite.
Nope.
You didn't even get it?
Nope.
Ugh.
Anytime I had been in there while that kite was there, everyone was really kind. Anytime I was in there, so kind. Everybody was letting everybody go through. I thought it was fantastic. I'm actually really surprised to hear this. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had the same experience you had, Memory Burn, and I've had bad experiences in the puzzle before there was stuff in there. Back when you used to be able to bring siege equipment into the puzzle and just troll people with arrow carts as they were trying to climb up in the creature room. But yeah, it was crappy, because like I was on my thief, and my thief isn't designed for perma-stealth, so I ran away and stealthed and hid in a corner and came back and revived like Naveen and Kaysee like twice. And then I finally got found out, like another thief counter-stealthed me by going stealth and stealth fest. Then I died.
Stealthception.
And then it was like we'd been going through this for a while, and it was like I was like, I can't try to do this again. I'm done. It was one person, and they had a legendary, and it was a short bow, so they're shooting rainbow unicorns at us, and like it was like one person would start it, and then the whole server would join in. Like everybody else was like, no, it's cool, let him pass, and this one guy's like, oh, I'm gonna shoot him, and then they're like, well, I guess we better help our friend, and then they kill us.
Yep. I don't think ArenaNet should let the average player, I mean, not the average player, I don't think ArenaNet should put these things in, like, Eternal Battleground or any of these PvP places, because, you know, the average player or the small guilds of the people who are playing with 2 or 3 friends, they're just gonna get there and get zerged, and they won't ever get the frickin' item, they won't ever get the frickin' title, and I hate it! I'm pissed!
Yeah, it's bad for games to force people into PvP, because obviously most people don't want to do it, or else they would be in it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's better now that they removed it from the main server for World versus World, so you have less people in there. But I was a little surprised that they did it twice, because you had the Aetherblade cache and the kite. How does the kite get into Obsidian Sanctum? It's closed in the roof. How does it fall down into there from the sky? And into the mists.
Scripts are guarding them, right? So they stole it and put it there. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, either way. I mean, I already had the kite when I went in there, so I was just trying to help Naveen out. And then it was just frustrating.
Because we had a great time the whole way through there, you know, because I really suck at jumping puzzles. Everyone, we were just making fun of me, but I don't care. And then it's just like ruined the mood, the guild funness move. Anyways.
Yeah. So.
You ruined my groove.
Quick update. Into the Mists. I don't know if you guys use that. It's a build site. Similar to like Guild Wars 2 Buildcraft and GW2Skills.net. Well, they just updated their website, and they added a whole guide section, kind of similar to the old PVX wiki that we had in Guild Wars 1. So it's pretty cool. They just updated that, so that's intothemists.com. Alright, so now, I don't know if did you guys watch the live stream with Colin Johansson where he talked about the living story?
No.
Did you guys read anything about it?
No.
I read.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who
So-
didn't read anything.
So what did you guys think about that? What did you take away from it?
There's a lot of interesting stuff in there, like a lot.
Care to embellish on that a little?
Like what?
Oh, let me see. There's so much in there. Looking for group tool. We know they've been working on that for a while.
Mm.
I guess that's closer than it was before. It's pretty interesting. Magic Find is probably the thing that stood out to me more than anything else, surprisingly. As much as there's a lot of really interesting stuff there, I'm glad they're finally. It seems they're going to make it. It's not going to be an item-bound thing. It'll be an account thing. So you no longer have to sacrifice stats, but you still get the benefit from it. I'll be interested in seeing how they sort of transition into that.
Mhm.
That has to be handled pretty delicately, but I think there's a couple of pretty good ways they could do it.
Yeah. Just for those that were mentioning it in the chat room, what Memory Burn's actually talking about is the blog post that came out today. There was actually a live stream earlier this week about the living story, completely separate. So, I'll just run through a few things that weren't mentioned or were mentioned more in depth in the blog post. For instance, they said there's no way they're going to do anything on a console. Not happening. They're not going to do console. They don't have the freedom to update every 2 weeks on a console. So if you're waiting for that, stop, because it's not going to happen.
I don't even know how it would work actually on the
too many.
console. It's no.
I
You'd
mean,
need like two controllers at the same time, or a keyboard and a controller. I don't know.
Trying to figure out, like, I have 10 skills. Like, I guess you could make hold the trigger and then 4 and then 4, but you're still missing 2.
No.
I need to be able to jump and open up all your inventory and all that.
Yeah.
But they've sold over 3 million copies of the game, but they haven't sold anything in the East yet. China, Korea, any of those places, they haven't even opened up the game to those areas yet, and they've already sold 3 million copies. There's a potential, they're working on that right now to open that up. So, what else did he say? Colin Johansson, when I say he.
You mentioned that there wasn't going to be a new dragon this year, which I thought was kind of cool, because I know people have been speculating on that a lot, especially with some of the newer content.
Right.
But it sounds like they're focusing on a lot of they're focusing on getting the story kind of to an end by the end, or to wrap it all up by the end of the year. So all of the separate pieces that we've seen in these living content or the living story updates are finally all going to come together at the end of the year, which is awesome.
Yeah, and he reassured everybody that yes, it took a while at the beginning because it was one team working on the first 4 months, and now they have 4 teams working on it. That's why we can see this bi-weekly release. They talked about, well, some of this came in later. They're gonna bring back the Molten Weapon Facility and the Aetherblade Retreat as fractals, regardless of who you vote for. Those are be fractals.
Interesting.
So that's cool. They're going to add more permanent experiences. The outcome of this vote brings mini-games back that people love, he says. So, I don't know what that means. Mini-games back that people love.
Well, you mentioned Crab Toss and the new one that they're releasing next time, which is funny because most people, I don't think, really like Crab Toss all that much. But, I'm sure there were some people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I didn't really like Crab Toss either.
Wasn't there a Super Adventure Box image on that post?
Well, we're conflicting again.
Oh.
We're going to get to that post. But yes, there was. You're
Don't
right.
cross the streams!
Yeah. Yeah, the no new dragon this year was the biggest one, I think. There's a possibility that we'll go back to locations in Guild Wars 1. Traditionally, a new region, such as added via an expansion, is compelling. We will add new regions. Some of those will be people's favorites. They're going to bring back the Molten Weapon Facility and the Aetherblade Retreat as fractals, regardless of who you vote for. Those are be fractals. So that's cool. There was
Regions.
one
They
before.
said,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
They also said that they're going to start, or they're going to be investing in skills instead of new professions.
Yeah.
So it sounds like what they're going to do is give us a lot more opportunities to make different builds with classes instead of releasing different archetypes, which is awesome.
And that was another thing that he said. Which reminded me. Thank you. He said they'd be much more likely, and we've kind of known this for a while based on the game and how it works, to do new weapons for brand new weapons or new weapons accessible to a different profession because of the way your first 5 skills are tied to a weapon. It's easier to add those in than it is to add in new professions. And Colin Johansson also said something that I've kind of been saying for a long time, and that they've covered so many different character archetypes in the game. You've got your heavy armor class, your warrior. You've got your heavy mage, your heavy armored mage in the Guardian. You've got your ranger type. You've got your necromancer, your magic user, your illusionist, your rogue, and then engineer just kind of blows all the other ones out of the water and doesn't really fit into an archetype. But he said there's not really any left, and they said yes, it would be good to add a 9th character to balance out 3 heavy armor professions. There's a couple archetypes that they haven't done, but they're not really looking at that right now, and I have no idea what it would be. I've asked this before of people. I can't really come up with anything that's unique enough from the other 8 professions to warrant a whole new class. So yeah, I think we pretty much covered the majority of the stuff that he said in his live stream, which you can view on their Twitch TV channel. I don't think they've uploaded it to YouTube yet. But yeah, it was basically the precursor to the blog post that came out today. And he said, he said in there, be sure to check out the blog post on Thursday because there's going to be some interesting stuff coming out. He also spoke about the tokens for the voting, which was not mentioned in the blog post. For this upcoming vote, you're going to have tokens, and you're going to turn them in to choose who you vote for. Tokens are dropped everywhere out in the game world for the election. It's not a traditional election, it's a pirate election. You can see candidates buying votes from players and using dirty tricks. The Blackline Trading Company are also involved.
Oh my god, you're gonna be able to... Okay, so basically the rich have power.
No, they're talking about the candidates, meaning Evan Nashblade and Ellen Keel can bribe you for votes.
No, but I mean, from what I understand, you're going to be able to get these tokens out of the world, in the world, and then put them in the trading post, and then people are going to be able to buy them. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, it says the Black Lion Trading Company is also involved. Makes sense, since Evan Nashblade runs the trading company, that he would use that to his advantage, which also is a huge advantage over Ellen Keel's nothing.
Naveen is so happy right now.
Man! No, Navri in the chat room says it's not a true election, and I agree.
Yeah. It's a pirate election. It's a pirate election for a pirate official.
It's true.
For a pirate council.
It's true.
I mean, if you go to what happens in Sea of Sorrows, which I won't spoil anything...
They didn't vote with coins!
Yeah, they did. You had to buy your seat on the captain's council.
That's money, it's not tokens.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying they changed that. It used to be whoever was the richest person in Lion's Arch could get on the council just by giving them money.
Oh, that's right. But...
then they do have to vote on them. The council votes, not the people.
I'm not going to say anything or else it's going to spoil something in the book, and I don't want to do that. Okay, whatever. I'll roll with it, because I don't have any choice. I'll have to grind and farm and stuff.
But, again, just...
It's fun, it'll be great.
Yay! I'm so excited. Pirates are...
My last little bit. Additional personal story. Think of the living story as the entire world growing and evolving. Within that, you'll have more characters in it, so there will be more personal story content. They will still add more temporary content because they really want that I was there approach, which we've had our arguments in Guild and everything about how RNG tokens don't necessarily mean you were there. It means you had a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly my point. I don't want to spend my gold trying to make one win The election. Oh, politics, money, bleh, whatever. I just want to play Guild Wars.
Another little tidbit regarding New World versus World maps. The quote from the dev in charge of that is, "Sooner than you think, but not as soon as you'd like." Take that as you will.
Sooner than you think, but not as soon as you'd like?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when they're ready? Whatever.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, Jexos in the chat says, "I want to write in a ballad for Naveen."
Yeah, thank you, Yexel.
I have a couple other things that came up on Reddit today about other potential candidates. This one says, "Dear citizens of Tyria, I've consulted with the commander and I decided to candidate for the open seat in the Captain's Council of Lion Charge. Although I'm a scholar and no politician, in times like these, I need to be what Tyria needs me to be. If you vote for me, I shall provide these benefits to all of you. A monthly parade shall be held at Claw Island, celebrating my glorious victory against the forces of Zaitan in the Battle of Claw Island. I will fund Fractal's research to allow everyone to relive my greatest achievements. The battle against the sovereign eye of Zaitan and the cleansing of Ore. A miniature version of myself will be delivered to every citizen of Tyria, so you can re-experience the feeling of me accompanying you on your journey, watching you as you best countless foes. It will also include a voice function, reciting several of your favorite lines, such as, 'This won't end well, moving on,' and 'Commander, to me.' Turn. First one of the Sylvari, Marshal of the Pact and Cleanser of Ore. I am the Pact Commander, and I approve this message."
Oh my goodness.
I had to read it because a mini Traherne that has voice acting would be the worst thing ever.
Yeah, it's like the Princess Dolls and their creepy little laughs and singing. Now you'd get just like Traherne. Oh my god, like millions of Trahernes.
Alright, I'm gonna post this here in our Skype chat. So, who wants to be the Quaggan pirate running for council? So one of you guys can read that one. I wish Kaysee was here, she would read it, but...
Yeah.
Someone's gotta be a Skrit, someone's gotta be a Quaggan. You pick.
Alright, I'll do the Quaggan.
Okay.
So Memory Burn has to do the script then.
Awesome.
MB? Did he die?
Quaggan is the best pirate. Quaggan has what it takes to be a council captain. Quaggan has a crew of his own, the Jetsam Pirates, but Quaggan has no ship. First mate Pegleg says it doesn't matter, but Quaggan will work hard to build ships for every pirate. Oh! When Quaggan wins leadership of Captain's Council, Quaggan will do many good things for you. Quaggan will reduce pirate bullying costs. Quaggan will journey into Fractals of the Mist and close them because they are dangerous. Quaggan will host cool games like Rage Control, Crab Cake Baking, and Tadpole Cuddling. Quaggan can't be found in Zephyr Sanctum because Quaggan has no ship, and Quaggan's flippers aren't strong enough to swim all the way there. But Quaggan doesn't trust the Zephyrites away. Boo! Boo! To the stone. Boo! Please help Quaggan. Let's not do that again.
How do you follow that?
Oh well, you'll have to manage. Oh jeez.
All right, here you go. Here's the script going for this. There's also a motivational poster, which I'll post in chat for you.
Oh, is there? Maybe I should view that for motivation, I suppose.
I posted it here. I'll post the. There's
Shiny. Oh my! Is he holding a gun to his head, or is it on his shoulder? Oh.
He's looking down the barrel. There's a couple of them. If you watch their idle animations, they hold a gun and then they turn it around and look down the barrel. Come on, Skrit.
If only Elimer was here. She's the best Skrit.
Well, now we'll have to do with MB.
Yeah.
You can do this.
Vote Skrit King. Vote for one who knows how dangerous a position of leadership can be. Vote for one who has a miraculous experience of over 2 weeks of leadership. Vote for one who is of the people, rallying in mass for greater intelligence. The Skrit King is a champion at negotiations. The Skrit King promises Skrit will stop taking kite baskets and provide shiny trade with the air folk. The Script King promises less junk and more shinies for as long as Script King live, probably 4 weeks. The Script King will teach you better ways to salvage. The Script King will sponsor lucrative Fractals of the Mist research into depths of Tyria. Find lost shinies. The Script King will host a rotation of popular activities like Crab Toss and South Sun Survival. Small in stature, big on dreams. Vote Script King.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is the best podcast ever.
What?
That was awesome.
That was like an old script. I was imagining like one of the
So it was
old
the Script King, so...
Yeah.
And Script.
Ah, that was awesome.
My favorite part of that, though, is it will teach you better ways to salvage. And I feel like that would actually be something they would do. Like, you get, for the 4 weeks, you get better salvage rates.
Mm.
But thank you, guys, both of you, for playing along. Thank you. I couldn't have asked for anything more.
Yeah.
I bow to you.
Sorry, Naveen, I don't have a fourth one for you to do. Otherwise, I would have put it in there.
Whatever.
could-
I know you're heartbroken.
Nick and from our guild posted up a Traherne thing on the forum. Let me find it real quick.
Oh, I saw that today. Yes, I did. That was funny. So after this bit, we're going to talk about the blog post from today. The mind-blowing, earth-shattering, gut-wrenching, face-melting blog post from ArenaNet today.
Face melting.
Yeah, like ArenaNet was doing like a crazy rock guitar solo, but in, the lyrics were the blog post, and it melted my face.
Okay. You had to explain, because it's the first time I've heard of someone's face melt because of a guitar solo, so...
Really? You never heard of like a really like, oh dude, that was cool. That was a face melter. Like the end outro of our show. That's a face melter.
That melts
Oh.
faces for sure.
My face never melted. I don't know.
You must be
You guys are
made of
weird.
dirtier stuff.
Whatever.
So
Lag.
my forum isn't loading, which is awesome.
Whatever. We'll keep going.
All right.
Keep looking. So let's talk blog post. First impressions.
For me, the blog post was... Oh, did you want to go, Naveen?
No, not at all. I don't know. Ah. So
Oh, okay.
there you go.
For me, it was, I guess, comforting because a lot of the things that I was kind of worried about for the future of the game were addressed in it. For instance, well, I know a lot of people have been kind of upset with how the loot drops have been working, and it sounds like they're going to be changing those around a lot, especially from dungeons. There's going to be unique skin drops, which is something that I know when we've talked about it before, we mentioned specifically that we wanted to see. What else here? They're going to be working on legendaries, making them work a little better. I mean, there's just so much stuff in here. It's crazy. Yeah.
And how about you?
That was a huge thing for me. Is specific loot tables. It can add so much flavor to the game. Just knowing I'm fighting this boss and I have a chance to get this piece of armor or this piece of equipment from him. It'd be really nice if it had a little flavor text there or something. But instead of this game, since it's come out, it's been I could go fight a level 9 whatever scale and have a chance at getting an amazing drop from it, and I can go fight the biggest, baddest boss and get a blue that sells for 60 copper.
Yeah.
It's one big loot table. It's not fun. You don't look forward to loot. Loot doesn't matter. It's just how much can it add up to when I vendor it. Oh, look, I got a yellow. That stands out. Great. But even then, you're not going to use it. You're going to salvage it or sell it. This, I think, is such a step in the right direction. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. Naveen, how about you?
I don't know.
Okay.
I did not read it.
Okay. Well, then we're gonna talk, and you can be amazed at how awesome.
That's what I usually do. Seems to be
That's
working
why-
out pretty good.
It's worked pretty well so far.
Because, see, I don't like reading, and you explain it pretty quickly and nice, and then I'm like, oh, and I do like the listener's impression of what's happening right now on iTunes when people are listening to it. And I'm like, really? And then people are saying, really? At the same time as me, so.
And that's how they connect to the show.
That's
through
right.
your name.
Yeah,
That's right.
You're like the avatar of the listeners.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I'm the connection to the peoples.
There we go.
A conduit.
Yes. She's our fan conduit. So I guess we'll start at the top, and now we'll just work our way through now. We got everybody's impressions. I kind of had the same, the three of us were talking, Memory Burn, Brahms, and I today, and we were fanboying all over the place, as much as I could from my phone while at work today. But so many good things. This is what everybody wanted. If people left Guild Wars because they weren't happy with what ArenaNet was doing, come back. Because or stay away because you lost faith. I don't care.
Yeah.
Brahms did it.
Yeah.
I did.
Well,
yeah.
but he's okay because he came back before all this came in.
What's awesome is that they actually specifically addressed in this the issue that I was upset about originally and had left for the whole issue with ascended items and gear tiers, and they essentially said that they're not going to be introducing any more tiers of gear, at least not anytime soon, and instead they're going to make other ways around it, like the unique skins, and they're going to offer ways to craft ascended gear, stuff like that. So.
Yeah, that's the big one. That's the first thing they mention is progression is not going to be, which, I mean, this could have, I could potentially see some problems with this, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But new skills and new traits unlockable in the game, that's the new way they're going to do progression, rather than you having to spend all this money on Ascended gear, and 6 months from now there's like Uber Ascended gear comes out. It's even better, and you have to spend more money. So let's see if I can't sample. There'll be new traits and skills you'll be able to unlock. These traits and skills will be designed to be balanced with the existing skills and traits we currently have in game, and will simply complement and expand the range of abilities and tactics available to each profession. Both WW and PvE players can acquire skills and traits, and additional means of earning skill points will be addressed for both core content areas, which is good because if we're going to be having to buy new skills, we're going to need more skill points, and just waiting for your level 80 to tick up is going to take forever, especially if they cost more than one skill point. If we're looking at new elites, I mean, that's potentially 30 more skill points you're going to need, depending on how that goes. Regular addition of skills and traits that you can earn as you play provides us an extremely stable, easily expandable reward system that fits neatly into the pillars of progress, of advancement in Guild Wars 2. Your character will be able to grow and change for years to come without invalidating everything you've earned so far. That's true to an extent, because if there's really cool new traits that take advantage of a different build set that you don't have, and you spend all your money buying Ascended gear and they come out with awesome super traits that you want to use, and or they balance the game differently and ruin your ranger build, that might cause some tension. So let's not focus on that. Actually, let me jump back. The only issue I could see is how they're unlocked in PvP. If they're just given to PvPers for free, like they did with everything else, no problems. If PvPers have to unlock it using glory or something like that, then I see a problem, because then it's the more you play PvP, the better you are and the advantage you'll have, which makes sense to me, but that's not what ArenaNet's going for, so we'll have to see.
My thing is, I don't want them to make it so we have to farm, and please God, don't make it RNG chest related. Please don't.
Well, I feel like we won't have to farm, because they're anti-farming. That's like their thing, is not farming, even though you have to farm.
Have you played the game, though?
Yeah, I don't know.
I was gonna say.
I know.
Yeah, let's not farm tokens to vote.
Well,
Whatever.
this is 6 months out. We're not talking right now.
Well, what do you think is gonna happen in 6 months? Same thing.
Everything's gonna be sunshine and rainbows, and everybody's gonna be happy.
Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows in the sun. I hate this game. No, I don't.
Wow.
I hate
She
farming.
said it, not me. Seven.
It's because farming takes away so much of the time, the precious time I have with Guild Wars 2.
And it's like disguised farming when it's farming.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have to farm, but then you're like, well, yeah, but then I don't get stuff, so I don't need stuff, but I really want stuff, so.
It's like the Zai Taffy stuff that Lag gave me like a bunch of stacks, and then a whole bunch of people sent me stacks too. I didn't have to farm. I was so glad, but still.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if there's gonna be farming, which I'm fine with, I want it to, like Memory Burn said, I want it. No lies. It's farming. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Let me know that I have to grind this boss for hours to get this one item. Don't pretend like there is no farming. And you know.
One thing I like with the farming, compare last patch to this patch. Last patch you were farming coffers and trying for a ticket and getting nothing. So you had a 1 in my experience, a 1 in about 2,000 chance of getting something. 1,999 times you're getting nothing. Now with this patch, you're farming these fortune scraps. If you just go long enough, I've gotten over 500 of these scraps. I have 2 helms, and I have a bunch more scraps. I'm not necessarily working towards another helm, but if you want it, you could go get it this patch. Whereas last patch, luck of the draw.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna farm, give you something for it, almost for sure. You know.
Well, that's kind of some. Oh, Brahms, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I was just saying. I think one of the cool ways that they could do it is to link it in with your class. So let's say for Ranger, maybe you get a trait or a skill unlocked after you tame every pet in the game or something. So that you still have to work for it, but it's related to your class. So it's not just needless farming for stuff. It's actually fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this kind of is a decent segue into the rewards, which is kind of what we were talking about, which, for those of you that are Guild Wars 1 players, is going to be really reminiscent, is champion rewards. As we all know, there's champions everywhere. And killing a champion isn't any more epic than killing a white little bunny rabbit. I mean, outside of it taking longer, you're not guaranteed better rewards. Like Memory Burn said, I mean, other than you don't get rewards from ambient creatures, but you could kill a level 9 scale and get a precursor. You could kill a champion and get some broken lockpicks if it's a champion bandit. But they're going to be updating them so they always drop a reward box for any player that qualifies. So as long as you tag it, you'll get this thing. And they'll contain crafting materials, skill points, which again is another way that they can be giving you skill points, unique skins, which is huge because this is like Guild Wars 1 style, lodestones, and more. So, oh my god, I need 350 charged lodestones from a damn hammer. Well, now I know if I go kill this thing, it could drop lodestones. I could actually farm instead of running COE for 8 billion times and maybe getting a couple of lodestones.
Yeah.
It's not like, charged lodestones are needed for anything in this game.
I've been throwing all mine away just because.
Yeah, right? Just trash them because who needs
They
them?
vendor. Yeah, they vendor pretty nicely.
Oh my gosh.
Vendor for a silver 60 copper, something like that.
Decent silver for them, yeah.
But, then they're saying it will be good, it'll draw people back, which I don't know why, but like if you go to Or South Sun Cove, there's a lot more champions there, so it's more beneficial to go there, because, you can go out with your guild and be like, alright, today we're going to go do Lornar's Pass, and we're just going to mow down champions. We're just going to hit them all up and mow them all down and see what we get, which is something fun that we could do as a guild and other people could do with their guild.
I like the unique skins thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely Guild Wars 1 and other, MMO.
Yeah, of course, but it's something that I really liked in Guild Wars 1, and even though I hate farming, I liked going to these bosses just so I could get a green out of them,
Because you know that it's going to drop it. It's not G.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's talk dungeon rewards. Somebody else talk. I've been talking the whole show.
Oh, Brahms or Memory Burn because dungeon rewards. What are those? There are rewards for completing dungeons? What? It's crazy.
Yeah, so what they're going to be doing is taking out, well, let's see, it says, in order to make playing all of our unique dungeons more rewarding, we will give you a bonus gold reward for each dungeon path that you complete each day. Coins will be removed from the current bosses, replaced by the champion reward box from what we just talked about, to coincide with this bonus payout for completing each path. Completion rewards will be guaranteed and will vary the amount of gold earned based on difficulty and the length of each dungeon path. That's interesting because, like, COF Path 1 is short, so it sounds like they might actually be reducing the rewards for that, whereas some of the longer paths, like Aura, for instance, would get more rewards. But they're also making it so that you can run multiple paths and you still get the rewards, just not the gold. So it sounds like there's not going to be a reduction in the number of tokens that you get, which is really, really nice for people that are trying to get armor tokens.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. If you need to run a raw just because you love it or because you need the tokens or whatever, you could be running COF and making a mint. Instead, you're in a raw. This way, I mean, you get rewarded according to what you're doing. I think that's fantastic, and it's overdue for sure.
Yeah, it's nice to see that there's actually, again, like you were just saying, if you love, for whatever reason, running a raw Path 4, and love killing 2 hours of your day for one dungeon, I mean, other than the people that can speedrun Lupercus in 21 seconds or whatever, ridiculous things like that. But, I mean, you shouldn't feel like, oh, I did this great achievement, but somebody else just ran, in the time it took me to do this, somebody ran COF Path 1 6 times. So they make more money and it's better off than them. Or you're better off than them, so...
Hopefully that means that... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Bob.
No.
With the new looking for group tool that they're putting in, hopefully that'll give us a wider variety of dungeons to run, because as it is now, good luck ever finding a group to run through Codicus Manor, ever. Even with the looking for group website tool, it's almost impossible to find a group for that. So hopefully it'll get some people out of Citadel of Flame and into other dungeons so that we can do all of them regularly.
Yeah. What do you guys think about new crafting material rewards?
Interesting. I want food for more recipes.
Well, they're going to be... We'll get to that in a second, but they're bumping crafting up to 500. It's the highest, not 400.
Yeah, I know.
So that's
Which
pretty
kind of makes me go like, okay. But I mean, with new crafting material and new recipes is going to come with more experience points, so... I don't think it's going to take that much longer to go from 400 to 500 because of the new recipes and all, but yeah, that's cool, I guess. I don't see the purpose.
Ascended food.
Ascended food? Oh, jeez.
Ascended berry bars.
Yeah, look at my apple pie!
It's the epicest apple pie there is. But they said they're going to add these new crafting materials account bound, so at least they came out and told you that it's account bound right up front, so you won't be able to sell them on the trading post, which will also help kind of gate how, like, you won't be able to flood the market with Ascended gear or with this new crafting material stuff. You'll be able to get the stuff in World versus World, so that's good for the WWers out there. Get it for doing guild missions, completing mini dungeons, doing jumping puzzles, so you don't have to do the same thing to get this new material. You can switch it up. You have plenty of new ways to go about it. So that's cool. At least they're realizing that people don't want to do the same thing every single day. Like they say in there, I could do guild missions on Tuesday with our guild, then I could do jumping puzzles on Wednesday, and then grinding ore if I want on Thursday, and I could get the same rewards, just doing something different. Alright, Memory Burn. Account Magic Find. You kind of talked about it before, but now's your time to shine.
Yeah, no, I just think it's great that they're getting it off of gear. I think that's so good. It's such a weird thing to have it on gear. I'm really interested in how they're going to do it. One thing that crossed my mind, you could have some like people who have full sets of Magic Find. Well, they're going to be kind of left out in the cold. You know, everybody has access to this. Maybe they'll give people the opportunity. You can trade in one type of every item, and that can count towards your Magic Find bonus on your account, or something like that. But I think the key thing there is the transition. Like, how are they going to do it? Just so nobody's really irritated by it or left out a bunch of gold.
Yeah. They did say that it was going to be, our goal will be to have as little disruption as possible to those who currently own items with Magic Find stats on them. But, yeah, I agree completely. I don't know how you're going to go about doing this. You have sigils that offer Magic Find, and runes that offer Magic Find. It's a couple of their bonuses. You have gear that's Magic Find plus 2 other stats. Do they just, like you said, do they trade them in? Do you trade those in for other gear? Do they just randomly replace it with some other stat?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I think what's cool about this too is that they said they're going to be taking blue and green items. You can break those down to get a chance to get some of the Magic Find, whatever the consumable is that makes it so you increase your Magic Find in your account. So finding blues and greens won't just be vendor trash anymore. You can actually salvage them and hopefully get the Magic Find stuff.
I think that was necessary.
Yeah.
Because nobody cares about... The only time I ever even care about greens is when I'm leveling a character and I go up 5 levels and I want to buy new gear. I haven't touched like a blue item since launch. Like back when people didn't just have, you know, your gear, like you're leveling up and you're equipping the gear that you find as you're leveling. And you look all weird and your armor's all different. You have like a level 30 pair of shoes and a level 50 coat. And you're like, oh my god, there's trinkets? What are these things? I don't even know. You find a backpack in your personal story because they're like, oh, I didn't even know that was a slot. What was that? I thought that was for guild capes. They're not even in the game yet. So again, we kind of talked about the crafting going to 500, allowing you to craft Ascended gear, which is again kind of right in ArenaNet's back to what they were saying when they had in the beginning of the game, where exotic gear is your level 80 gear. If you want to get cool looking gear, you can grind for it, do dungeons, do whatever. If you want to just get level 80 exotic gear, you can just craft it or buy it off the trading post. I do believe they said that this Ascended gear is going to be account bound, though. I don't remember if I read that or not. But that means an Ascended, a 500 level jeweler can put, you know, laurels and guild commendations out of commission. And just be like, oh, I'll just go craft my necklace. I'll go craft my rings, screw fragments of the mist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm wondering. Was there going to be Ascended food? Maybe that's how you get your Magic Find. Ascended food. Or exotic food. There's not even rare food in the game yet, so I'm skipping a couple of tiers to get to Ascended food.
Yeah. No. I don't want people to be able to craft Thackeray family crests.
Well, it probably wouldn't be called the Thackeray family crest. I'm just saying, it would probably be Ascended, you know, Knight's ring of...
Oh, okay. You're saying the name would change. It'd still be the same item, but not necessarily...
kind of similar to how it is right now with, like, exotic trinkets. Like, you could get the ruby, you know, there's the berserker stat, but then you could find a berserker ring, or you could go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry. Didn't mean to scare you with the...
Almost had a heart attack.
Sorry.
Jax has just posted something in the chat room. It says this tier is time constrained, so each item can only be made once per day in order to help give high-level crafters their own economy of items and build and sell that retain their value and rarity. And he says that makes him think that the gear won't be account bound, so you can actually sell it, which is awesome.
There you go. Thank you,
And
Jaxos.
Interesting.
And actually have a bit of an economy for people who want to craft too, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially, you know, I mean, those first couple of days, if you're not like crafting for yourself, if you're just crafting to sell, you could actually make like some serious money, especially ascended armor and weapons. You know. Oh, who wants to ascend? First day, ascended greatsword. Just put it on trading post. You'll be rich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because how many people use greatswords in this game and want ascended stats that don't have a legendary?
Nobody. Nobody uses greatsword. What are you talking about?
I know, right? I think I've maybe seen one time. I think that might be. Yeah, I don't even know. So let's talk updates to legendaries. This is huge.
Like your mom. What?
Oh, you're so nice. The new thing they're going to add to legendary weapons that are existing is you can change the stats on the fly. Like, so if you want a Berserker legendary greatsword, you make it Berserker. Well, now you want to be tanky, now you make it a Knight's thing, and you don't have to transmute it, you can just change it all the time.
One thing, I'm surprised to see something like this before seeing something like saving different builds.
Yeah.
It's kind of surprising, but I think that's really neat that they're even thinking about that.
Yeah, and it gives somebody that has a legendary something over just, rather than just cosmetics. Because, I mean, legendaries are awesome, don't get me wrong, and it is achievement points, which now can translate into some pretty awesome stuff. But having, something that makes a legendary stand out, and I'm glad that it's not like stat boosted, that it's more powerful than an ascended piece of gear. Once ascended weapons come out, they'll make legendaries the equivalent of ascended, but they'll also, allow you to change your stats, so you don't have to worry about accidentally transmuting your legendary and losing your legendary completely. But they also said they're going to add new types of legendary gear, which we talked about potentially means legendary armor.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, we kind of had the discussion, but I'll see what you think, Naveen, because I don't think ascended or legendary trinkets make sense. You don't see trinkets. You see back piece maybe, but...
Yeah, and the thing about legendaries, like you said before, it's more about the cosmetics thing, and trinkets you don't see. Oh my god! What if you could see the rings, and see the earrings, and see the badges and stuff? Oh, what?
That's,
now that I would be really like...
That's kind of something I was saying to Lag today about, like, what if you had a ring that gave you a blue aura, and that was your ring, or an amulet that could do something, just different effects on you, or something you might not see the ring because it's really small. That'd be really cool, but just something on you that you knew that's what you had.
What game did that? If you changed rings and... Oh my god, was it Rohan Online? No. I can't remember.
Phantasy Star Online kind of has some stuff like that, where you'd equip items that you normally wouldn't see, but it would give you like an aura around your character. It was awesome. I hope that they do stuff like that here, because it would be great.
That would be great.
People in the chat room are saying Aeon did that. Aeon? Aeon? Is that how you... I don't know.
Yeah. Ion.
Whatever.
Ion. Yeah, so...
Guild Wars. Same thing. Potato.
Same
Potato. Potato-y.
Yes.
Guildardo.
Guildarwazuru! That's in Japanese. I bet you didn't know that.
But yeah, and they also said there's going to be additional ways to actually reliably get a precursor, which is huge for a lot of people, because that's usually the biggest gold sink, more than the 100 gold sink of icy runestones, which his whole purpose is to just be a gold sink when you're crafting your legendary. Getting the precursor is more of a gold sink, I feel, unless you're crafting like the Trident, because who does that? I mean,
what?
Underwater legendaries, right?
Half of the guild, like.
Yeah, I know. Everybody loves their underwater legendaries. WTF.
Come on, man.
See, somebody like me, I have a new look every third day. I'm going to get sick of Sunrise on my back. I'm going to have it thrown in my bank after a week. So if I get an underwater legendary, how often do I see that? I'm never getting sick of that. I keep my underwater weapons forever.
I guess that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I haven't really changed my underwater weapons either. I just got them randomly, and I just kind of kept them since then. So, alright. Touche. Touche, Mary Baron. Touche. I don't know, do you guys remember the Orb of Power, World versus World?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Naveen?
talking about World versus World, eh?
Yeah.
I don't go there, that's why.
Well, there used to be the Orb of Power, which you could take, and then you'd put on one of the altars in one of the 3 keeps, and it would give your server like a big boost of stats for PvE and World v World. And there was a lot of hacks to the orb, and you could make it disappear and reappear, and it's gone now for those of you who've been out of the game for a while, but they're planning on coming up with a way to not replicate, but like a new mechanic like that. And as long as it's done well, I think it could be alright. What do you guys think?
I don't give a damn.
Yeah, that was pretty problematic, mostly because, well, for one, it gave you, the better you were doing, the more of an ability it gave you. Like, it made you stronger the more you did it. I don't know if I like that. Like, maybe something the reverse would be helpful too. I don't know. It's hard to say. World vs. World is doing great without it. It'll be interesting to see what they put in. As long as it's not hackable and you can't see it flying across in the air and, you know, lose all morale because of it, well, then it can't be as bad for sure.
I think it'd be cool if they made it so that it could kind of balance things out a little bit, because as it is right now, at least most of the time, because our server is awesome, we get these huge leads ahead of everybody, and we keep them for the whole week, and basically we win by sometimes 100,000 points, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of interesting if they could make that orb balance things out so that everyone had a chance still by the end of the week to win. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool for them to add more systems to World v World, more objectives to fight for. But I guess it really just depends on how they do it.
Yeah. I think you got to be careful with that, because you're gonna, if it was like the orb was like a quick way to turn around the win at the end, you're gonna piss off a lot of people that worked hard to get to the high points.
That's true.
But I mean, additional objectives in World versus World other than take camps, and maybe this will come in with the new maps they were talking about. I don't know how a fifth map would change the dynamic, because now you're splitting your forces between 5 maps as opposed to 4, which is something. I don't know. I'll just go over PvP quickly. There wasn't a lot. They said they're going to focus on making the rewards seem better, because they're doing all this stuff for PvE and WV, so they want to make the rewards better for PvP. The addition of new skills and traits on a regular basis will, of course, mean expanded variety of abilities, builds, and tactics in PvP. As these additional skills and traits are added, they'll be I'm sorry, never mind. Solved my own question from before. They'll be automatically unlocked and available for competitive PvP, just like all existing skills traits work today. So, what did they say? We'll also expand the competition options, providing additional rewards and growth, hosting our 1-year PvP championship at PAX. So that's cool. And then there's just pretty much the end. They're doing a limited beta test in China right now. So that's cool for them. And yeah.
I think as far as the beta in China, they mentioned something, I think it was in these notes, but I don't remember, how they're going to add in some more tutorials for lower levels and some more personal story, so that it helps people get into the game and understand the mechanics better. Hopefully they do that with like fields, so that people actually understand to stand in them and to blast them, and they're awesome. Yeah. But they said they're going to move that into our version of the game once they put it in too, so that could be really cool.
Yeah, I just read that actually. Better hints and new story steps at level 5 and 10 to help better teach core mechanics. Yeah, that would be something good, especially for new players.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally skipped over that. I must have just been freaking out about everything else and missed that, which is entirely likely. So I guess while we're here, how about the question of the week?
Not the question of the week.
Oh yeah, the
Here's
question
your
of the week.
question of the week.
Question of the week. What new piece of information from that blog post or the live stream are you most excited about, and why? Winner will be announced next week on the show, and gold to be determined then. And I will send the gold. I know I've been slacking, but I will send it out. I promise. All right.
With interest?
No. I guess let's talk next preview for next week. We got the patch coming out next week.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think? I mean, we kind of talked about a lot of it, especially with the voting and things like that. They have the slander campaigns, basically the slander videos on the website. They're gonna have. We know Evan Ashblade's reduced price of Black Lion keys for 4 weeks. Keel's reduced waypoints for 4 weeks. Okay, I get why people want waypoints, but after they're gone, that's gone. You could hoard your keys.
I thought it was a permanent change. It's just for 4 weeks.
Yeah, kind of disappointing.
Yeah, now I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
why are you doing that?
because you're going to Nashblade.
No,
Don't do it,
I didn't
Naveen.
say that. I just said I didn't know.
Well,
Okay.
Like I said, I'd like to realistically think I'll buy a bunch of keys at a low price and then I'll hoard them. But I'm just going to use them all probably within the same day because I can't just sit there and look at the keys sitting next to my unopened chests and just be like, just wait till next patch. But the thing is, it's 4 weeks, so that will cover 2 updates to the game. So the potential for 2 more sets of RNG stuff to show up in the Black Lion chests. And again, I won't deny that reduced waypoint costs are a great thing. I think if it was permanent, I'd definitely see more votes for Keel, and I'd get that. But after 4 weeks, you're back to normal, and then all of that's over. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have much to show for it, other than whatever else they add into the game. That's my piece on that.
I just show of hands how many people buy keys, and then a show of hands how many people use waypoints.
I mean, everybody uses it.
I don't.
I have 2 hands up for people on iTunes.
I try to be. I try to feel more in lore along with the books, so I only walk and use the surrogates.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
You're so full of shit, Lag.
I know. I'm obviously lying.
Come on.
But again, we know that if you vote for Evan Nashblade, he's going to have, by the end of the year, there's going to be a new fractal added that's the fall of Abaddon the first time. When he fell, the gods kicked him out. Keel's going to explore into the explosion of the Thomanova reactor.
What is that?
Yeah, see? Yeah.
It's where the
Well, now I
fire
wanna
element
know what it is.
spawns now.
Pardon me?
Fire out. Yeah.
You fought the fire element, right, in Metrico province?
Yeah. Oh.
That's the Thomanova reactor.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Basically, experiment went wrong, and now, like, that place has different zones, like there's a frost zone and all this stuff. We don't have any lore on it at all, so there's that, which is nice from a lore perspective. Well,
What if that place brings us to the dwarves?
it's true. I mean, that's possible. But, like, I know I want to see Abaddon get his butt.
What if that place brings us to Primordus?
Well, we won't, because there's no new dragon for this year, they said.
But they say to next year, right?
Well, no, by the end of this year, this will be in the game.
Oh. Oh.
And they'll both be bringing in a rotating schedule of activities like Crab Toss and South Sun Survival. South Sun Survival sounds like the best game ever. It's the Hunger Games, basically, from what I gather. Did you guys read anything on that?
Yeah, it does sound really cool. I'm kind of waiting for them just to put it out. I haven't read too much on exactly how it works, but just a few things that I've seen. Yeah, I'm excited to try it, and I'm excited to get the red backpack thing because I know it's just like the yellow one, but I actually like it a lot. So, and I think that's the only way to get it is through that game.
Yeah, it's what he's mentioning is there was the yellow flower, the backpack that we got. It's the Desert Rose backpack is that, but it's red instead. But I think all we know is that it takes place on South Sun. Everybody has a bow, and it's like survival test, where people are thinking you're basically pitted against other players, and you have to scavenge around and find supplies to help fight them back. Kind of similar to the Hunger Games event that we had. Yeah, between the Hunger Games and the Battle Royale, or
Hunger Royale.
Hunger Royale we had in the betas.
Hmm.
That was with, guns, and you got turned into golems when you died. It was weird. But
I
it was
wasn't
fun.
there for that one.
Oh, you weren't there for that one?
No, it was the only one I missed.
It was strange. I think, like, knowing how much we know about the game now, it would have changed, or about Guild Wars, it would have changed that game so much. But back then, we were all new to it. We had no idea what half the stuff did.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, the Hunger Royale was an awesome minigame, but I think that's pretty much going to be a spiritual successor to that, but everybody uses bows, so it's got that more Hunger Games vibe than the random, like, laser gun thing we had in the Hunger Royale. So, what do you think, Memory Burn? You're awful quiet over there.
I don't know. The upcoming patch, I'm just kind of sitting back and watching it, see what happens, to be honest. I don't, I see upsides to both of them. I really haven't decided who I'm voting for.
You haven't decided?
I don't know. No, I don't know what I want to see. I don't know. But for the that Hunger Games game, that sounds great. I wasn't in beta weekends. I've heard about that. It sounded really fun. As much as I never want to see South Sun again, I might try that out. I love South Sun. Yeah, I love South Sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't you building a house there or something?
Yeah. I heard my player housing was going to be there, and I just I don't want it anymore.
Yeah. I have my own complaints about South Sun and the lack of any other way to obtain settler weapons than taking all 4 camps and then missing out on that like twice. That's annoying because nobody comes to help push the Carca Queen, but when it's pushed, everybody shows up to fight it.
Yeah, we spent like an hour that one night trying to rescue all the camps. It was a pain in the butt, and then we finally managed to spawn the Carca Queen, and all of a sudden everyone on the server is like zoop, and they all came in. Like, where were you guys 5 minutes ago when we were trying to do all this stuff?
Yeah, we got a lot of thanks for pushing the Carca Queen, whoever did it. And then I was like, well, you're welcome. Can you get me some help to retake the camp? And then everybody just like chest gone.
Yep.
Oh.
I didn't even do this event yet.
We can do it because I need to get the rest of the gear. I managed to get like most of my armor. I still need to get 4 weapons and I think a face mask. So I know how much everybody loves South Sun, so I'm sure they're all jumping on.
I love South Sun because it has lots and lots of sharks, and those sharks drop gold constantly. Except I shouldn't say that because everyone's going to go, so no it doesn't. They drop globby goo and that's it. Don't
Nice.
The other mini game that's coming in is Aspect Arena, which could potentially be pretty cool. It takes place in the Zephyr Sanctum, and it's the aspects that you get there with the jump and the lightning flash and all that. Essentially going in, you pick either sun, wind, or lightning, and it's basically a PvP game where you run around and collect the crystals. And whoever collects the most, whichever team collects the most crystals by the end wins.
I want Dragon
So-
Ball back.
Maybe we'll see that as a rotation of one of the better things.
Mm.
Who knows? Probably not, though. I'm sure they're going to keep it like they did with the Dodgeball with the Dragon Festival last year. Or, in Guild Wars 1, rather.
I think only Keel's bringing back Dragon Bash, so just vote for her. It'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Vote Kiel.
Yeah, right. Well, I heard Evan Nashblade's bringing back the Snowball fight, so...
Who cares about Snowball Fight? All I have to do
Have you
is
done
go
the
in
Snowball
Norn.
Fight?
I just have to go in Nornland and throw snowballs at kids.
You couldn't turn into a giant snowball in Nornland, though. But you could in the snowball fight.
I could in my mind.
You do a lot of things in your mind, Naveen.
I do.
And you'll be able to get mini Ellen Keel and mini Evan Nashblade mini pets for doing the meta events. So that's cool. And they're going to add Catapult Mastery. Yay. There's so many, in my mind, there's so many better things for you spend your World v World points on. I don't know if I'd want to focus into one type of siege weapon. It's, you know, that's just me. I'd rather have, like, defense against guards or build increase time. I think that's it for the new patch that we know at this point, really. Do we know? You guys remember anything else that you've seen about this new patch coming out?
Nope.
No, yeah, just a couple items and the voting obviously is the biggest thing, but that's about it.
What? The voting? You back on the voting again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pirates are.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's lore-ish related. But, I don't know. Alright, so we can either end it here, or we can have a little discussion. It's up to you guys.
How about we end it here, and then after the credits, we can have a discussion. So, if you guys want to stay tuned, after the credits, we can have a discussion.
Okay, let's do that then. That works.
Ah, sweet.
Then we can get Memory Burn talking, because he's going to be very adamant about this topic. Oh, wait, Naveen, I've been getting badgered by Katie the entire time for this, so I feel bad.
What's up?
Katie, can you repost the link, please, in chat for me, so I can have it again? Everybody had to read if you see the link she just posted, everybody had to read a vote for somebody. This is a vote for Zoramos, the head of the Mystic Forge, and everybody wants you to read it.
Why is it in third person?
Because that's what everybody else's was. Vote for Script King. Da 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 da.
Oh.
Vote for Turn. Zoramos doesn't have a voice, so you can pretty much go with whatever you want.
He just sounds like a toilet flushing all the time.
I don't know how to do that.
It was pretty good.
Thanks. Okay, Zomaros. He's from Relona, right? So.
Yeah.
Let's have
He's also Jin too, so.
Oh my goodness! You give me the whole package there.
Yeah.
Compared to lesser beings such as Evon Nashblade and Ellen Keel, Zomaros is a powerful Elonian Jinn who powers the Mystic Forge and is the epicenter of the Lion's Arch economy. A vote for Zomaros is the obvious and only choice. Choose Zomaros for the Captain's Council, and Zomaros will show his appreciation for your support in the following ways. Precursors for everyone for 4 weeks. Zomaros will magically summon Fractals of the Mists research into the conquering of Ilona by Palawajoko. Yes! Palawajoko! To be completed right now. Zomaros will not host any activities. Zomaros is bored of trivial mortal games. You can find Zomaros in the Mystic Forge of Lion's Arch, where he will be amused by the misfortune of lesser beings crafting their precursors. If you do not vote for Zomaros, the Mystic Forge will be cursed for you, and all crafted items produced will be thin leather sections. Zomaros does not like being displeased. The mighty Zomaros has spoken. Thank you.
Nicely done, Naveen.
Ah, fantastic, fantastic. Moving on, Commander. That was awesome. Thank you, Katie, for posting that. Thank you, Naveen, for reading that.
You're welcome.
Alright, so on that note, I don't think we can top that. So hang around if you want to hear the discussion. If not, we're going to wrap this up.
Okay.
Chronicles of Tyria Brocast, Chronicles of Tyria, plus Naveen.
Yay!
Episode 54, on Lagwyn. Somebody.
Anyone else?
The memory burn.
I'm Brom.
And I'm Naveen.
And we'll see you next time.
Do you like banging on a hard hat, Lag?
Clearly.
Okay.
Well, real talk. Glasses are coming off.
Real talk. Real.
Was the song already over?
Yeah, I started it before, and then
Oh.
stuff happened.
No, it's all good. Alright, so we're gonna take it down here. If I could reach my lights without getting out of frame, I'd dim them a little bit. But we're gonna talk about a topic that's near and dear to all of us. And that's how character creation options, the voice acting in the game, the visual aesthetics, the way armor is displayed, things like that greatly affect how you choose to play your character and what character you choose to make. And maybe why a lot of us end up playing human females. Or females in general, because they have better armor choices in some cases. So, memory burn, I know this is like the big thing for you since you change your costume and the way your armor is and everything every, 2 weeks.
2 weeks, you haven't been around, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
He's on a 1 week costume basis and a 3 week name basis. I figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the first character I started, Norn. Only character I have that's not a human, and if it wasn't the first character, it never would have happened. Humans are the only thing in the game I like to play. Char, I love their story, I love their lore, I love that. Obviously, they're a huge part of Guild Wars. I can't stand the way they run. I would love to have one. I see people with great-looking Char all the time. I get jealous, but I cannot play them at all. At all. For whatever reason, Asura, Sylvari, I can't get into either, but Char, yeah, exactly. Nope.
Yeah. I guess let's start with voice acting.
Oh my god. The voice acting is
Alright.
great.
I'll agree on some. Okay. Naveen, let's go around the table here. Naveen, what's your opinion on the voice acting for any of the race combinations and gender combinations you've had? Do any of them really bother you? Things you hate that they say, things that you hate the voice of, things like that.
Maybe I would have something that I find annoying usually, but I actually don't.
Okay.
Even Traherne I don't mind because it's Traherne's voice and Logan Thackeray. And then the Chars, they just sound good. Oh, wait. There was something, but they took it out.
Okay.
The Norn male, especially the warrior or guardian, whatever, if you would swing like a hammer or sword or a great sword, they would go like hurrah, 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 at every single swing. And Aaron, my husband, would keep annoying me like that. He would just follow me and go like hurrah, 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 hurrah. And I'm like, oh my god, shut up. But yeah, they took that out. So
Okay.
no. I love the
Well, hey,
scripts.
it's nice to have somebody with a differing opinion and a strictly positive opinion. Good for you.
Yeah, when do I do that? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I know, right?
It's after the show stuff. I'm positive just after the show. What?
Well, alright, so, Brahms, let's throw it to you. Are there any ones that bother you?
Obviously, I can run faster than the Centaur. Got old after the second time I heard it, but I don't play human female, so I hear it from everyone else's character. I think the voice acting on the whole is all pretty good. The Norn female voice I'm not a big fan of. The Sylvari female voice I like a lot, but it's it's leaning toward a very specific character type. Like, you have to play a young, very curious and bubbly Sylvari female. I have Sylvari I made that's a necromancer who's a witch that lives in a swamp, and she's not bubbly at all. And so anytime she talks, it's very out of character for her. And it's difficult to do a voice that fits all around, granted, so I don't really know how they could fix that, but it's one of those things that does kind of bother me. So otherwise, I think like the Sylvari male voice, someone had mentioned in the chat, that voice is awesome, and it seems to fit a lot of different characters. Yeah, I don't play humans at all, so I don't really have much of an opinion on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, memory burn. Let's drop the hammer. Let's do it. It's gonna be a 1-2 punch here, so let's hear it.
There's, well, for one, if we're talking about sounds from human females, we just got over Dragon Bash and eating all that candy. The vomiting sound is, I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah,
what are we
true.
rated? What is the show rated?
It's rated M.
It's when you hear this sound, you look around, and when everyone's fully clothed, you're surprised. It's the most lewd sound I've ever heard in any game, and I don't know how it made it into the game.
What does it sound like again?
But I don't know. Honestly, I play with the sound off a lot.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, which I know if I had a Twitter listed, it'd be blowing up right now. Like when I have the sound on, I know what I'm missing. Like, the sounds are great in the game for the most part, but I always play with my sound off. So not always, most of the time.
That's interesting.
So there's a lot I miss out on, but like Brom said, some of the catchphrases that you hear from your character all the time, it'd be really nice to have in your character selection, here's 3 or 5 different voices, pick one. It is a role-playing game. That'd be nice, but...
Even if they had like a slider that you could kind of set the pitch a little bit, so because I know they have a ton of voice acting in the game, and so I can't fault them for not having multiple voices, because I know that would take them a lot of resources to do all of those voices multiple times. But even like a slider, if you could just adjust the pitch, would be something that they could do. But
that's true.
I don't know how realistic that is either.
Yeah, I agree with the slider, because then they can keep one voice and then not have to screw with it too much. Trying to see if I can find some interesting things. But alright, so I have a wide variety of characters that cover, I have 14 characters, and I have coincidentally enough, a lot of them are human, and the majority of them are female human, although I do have varying all over the place. I'd like to point out that I made my main character originally was going to be a male Sylvari elementalist. And I feel like when you make an elementalist, you really have to commit to loving what your character's voice sounds like. Because they talk all the time. Because every time you switch attunements, for the most part you get a boon. And when you get a boon...
Water!
You say something. Okay? I didn't even come up with a backstory for my, RP-wise for my Sylvari. But I can tell you right now that he's just a pompous jerk. Because element of fire, heed me. Element of water, attend me. I can't stand it. It drives me crazy. And, I'd much rather listen to, I can outrun a centaur, or, refreshing than element of water. Hear me, or whatever, something like that.
Air.
It drives me nuts, and I can't. I can't deal with it. So I barely play that character, and I have that character at 80. It's got all the exotic gear, a bunch of ascended gear. I know Kaysee's not here right now, but I know she can't stand the female Sylvari voice on her ranger. Because I guess whenever it levels up or something, it says I get it now, and she can't, drives her crazy.
I get what they're going for with stuff like that, because it's nice to have some sort of non-visual cue for certain things that happen in the game, but it would also be nice if you could turn those off. Like, all they'd have to do is make an option so that your character never has voice feedback, and I think that would fix a lot of the problem for some people. Like, then I could play a female elementalist human, and I wouldn't have to get angry all the time.
And I'd like to speak up, and I'm sure people know this, female Norn man voice.
What are you talking about?
I
feel the spirit of Rabbit, and I can feel his tail wiggling in my heart.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. I can't, male Norn voice I have no problem with. Char, male and female, I like both voices. I have no problems with that. Asura, it's pretty much, I mean, I don't really have a problem with them either. Humans, I don't. Male Sylvari, I have my issues. Female Norn, man, what the hell happened with the voice actress? I just, like nails on a chalkboard for me. and I have a level 80 Norn, and I played with the sound off. Because I couldn't, it read like a pretty great personal story when I read it, but I just couldn't deal with it.
That's why I deleted my level 65 female Norn Ranger to remake as a Sylvari, because I hated her voice acting, and you hear it, like you guys were saying, you hear it all the time. Anytime you get a boon, anytime you find a new place, all the time you hear the voices.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can't find, because on the wiki they have some of the information, and I want to try to see if I can find the level up things, because when you level up a character, they obviously say something, and I'm trying to see if I can find all of them, because as we know, there's some of them that are very interesting, like it's just another thing or testament or whatever it is of how amazing I am, a female elementalist, or a female human rather. I'm sorry, or like fine wine, I just keep getting better. Things like that. And there's also, I don't know if you guys know this, but for the most part, on every boon or every condition you receive, there's a voice cue, but not all of them. They just stopped on some characters. Like I'm looking at what is this? Bleed, for instance. Every character has if they get hit with bleed, they have a voice cue. But for a lot of them, they use the same one over and over again. Like for Sylvari, it's I'm bleeding, and it's male and female both say I'm bleeding. Humans both say I'm bleeding. Char, the male says I'm bleeding, the female says gonna bleed out. Male Asura says I'm hemorrhaging, and the female Asura says that's my blood. But like some of the voice, like Confusion, for instance, some of them just don't have cues. Like there's no Char voice cue for blind. If they get inflicted with blind, they don't have a cue for that. They just don't say anything. Weird. And like Norn, the female says something, but the males don't. Like I can't see or I'm blinded. Let's see. I think Confusion. I think the male Norn doesn't have a thing for that. Or no, they do now. I lied. They did previously, but they do. But I like that. But some of those get annoying too when you hear those over and over again, especially if you get racked with conditions, or if you get a lot of boons, you have to deal with that. Like, let's see, regeneration. Let's look at if this says for the Sylvari. Okay, so it just I feel like I'm heavily drawn to one type of character or another based on what they say, and that shouldn't really be the case. But it drives me up a wall in some situations. And all right, let's move on to the visual animations of the character. We already heard Memory Burn's Char complaints.
No? Oh, yes. I mean.
How about you, Naveen? Do you have any complaints about the way any of the characters move or interact with the world?
I don't like, but then again, like, I don't like how slow a Norn walks, and that's pretty much why I can't play my Norn. I feel like I'm not getting anywhere fast. Even though I'm at the same speed as everyone else, it's just, it feels slow. But then again, like, as a giant, you would be walking like that, I guess. I don't know. But, it just, it feels like a slow gameplay to me, and I don't like it. But and then you feel kind of restrained in puzzle jumps and jumping puzzles. I mean, because you're so big and slow, and you feel like you're gonna, fall every time. But no. Other than that, not really. I think that's my biggest complaint on movement.
Alright. Brahms, how about you?
Male Sylvari have the worst running animation in the game. It's
Really?
awful. Yes.
I never noticed.
And I made a new character, an Elementalist, and I was going to make it a male because I have 2 or 3 female Sylvari already, and I actually didn't want to make another one. So I tried a male Sylvari, and the way that he runs it drives me nuts. It's the silliest run animation I think I've ever seen in a game.
I know.
Find a video of it. It's weird because I had a male Sylvari before, a Necromancer, and I never noticed it. But for some reason now, I noticed it instantly, and it drove me nuts. Yeah, I think the Char walking animation is kind of weird, which really just comes up in roleplay, but it's not bad. It's awkward. Otherwise, yeah, the male Sylvari one is the one that drives me crazy. The other ones really aren't horrible. I take that back. There's one more. Asura. I know it's on male Asura. I don't know about females. If you have your weapons out while you're walking, they waddle in just the weirdest way. They look like penguins.
That's true.
And it's so strange. And yeah, I guess it doesn't really bother me that much. It's weird how it works. But yeah.
All right, Memory Burn. How about you?
Well, like I said with the Char, they drive me crazy. Naveen touched on how slow and sluggish big characters feel. The Norn, the Char, and that's such a deterrent too. Just feeling like you can run alongside anyone that's human or Asura, and you're going the same speed, but it feels so slow. And Asura I think every movement by an Asura is my favorite thing in the game. Everything they do is so cute. But.
All right.
I like the flips they do when they jump.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way if you ever strafe back and forth with an Asura, go to the left and then cut to the right, and just the way that their huge head almost knocks them over, it's great.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you guys. I thought initially in beta I loved the Char run animation, but in beta I didn't play for that much. I played other characters. I made a Char to make a Char, and yeah, I can't stand the run animation. Between Char and Norn, I feel like I'm running so slow. And I can't, we all know that it's no different. But, I feel like when I have swiftness on a Norn, I'm running at the speed of my human or my Sylvari all the time. And that, again, tends to lead me away from Char and Norn characters. And you're driving me now into Asura, humans, and Sylvari. So, it's almost like, in my mind, excluding me from two whole races. Just because I can't stand the cosmetics.
Carolina in the chat room said in beta they had a loud pant. I'd never noticed that probably because I didn't play a Char in beta, but
yeah. She also mentioned earlier, Ella Carolina, and I agree that the way you speak should be affected by your personal story choices. The sayings that you say, whether you're nobility or street rat or whatever as a human, should affect the way. The comments that you make should be a noble will talk one way, whereas a street urchin's going to talk another way. Clearly,
right. And if you're charming or ferocious or whatever,
that would actually give charming, ferocious, and dignity actually
a meaning.
Something in the game.
Yeah,
that's something they should work on because that doesn't actually do anything. I pulled up some of the attunement lists just because it drives me crazy. Element of fire, obey me. Element of water, attend me. Element of wind, heed me. And element of earth, hear me. So, potentially on the timing of my attunements, I can hear all of those in a matter of 9 seconds.
Mm.
and it drives me up a wall.
Mm.
And then, like, there's a list and breakdown of all of them. I like the human ones too because I like all the ones that are tied to the human gods. Like, I like Fjellgrenth's Icy Embrace. Like, I think that I like that one. I'm okay with that. Feel the Fires of Balthazar, you know. Reap the Whirlwind, so much better than Element of Wind, Heed Me. Storm shall bend at my word. You know, other wonderful things that my Sylvari will have love to say. But yeah.
What I hear often is Urge to Kill Rising.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
What's the warrior shout that I hear it all the time? I can't think of what it is right now.
For great justice.
Yes. Oh, God.
For great justice.
I don't like that. I never hear Guardian shouts. Like, I don't think Guardian... I can hear my Guardian shouts, but I don't think other players can hear Guardian shouts. You
I
guys,
think it's the same with Rangers, actually.
like, protect me and guard and that?
Like Cardinalina. She says 4th grade justice.
'Cause
I'll take your sandwich.
sometimes I feel when my Guardian yells retreat and I run away, it would be cool if other people heard me yell that, so you know what I'm doing. Like, this is my plan. We're in the dungeon. You guys are going to fight the guy, and I'm realizing everybody's going to get down. So I pop retreat and run away. You're not going to be like, what's Lag doing? Oh, he's retreating. His character just told me that. You know, like, I would like if that actually worked.
Shake it off.
Oh, shake it for great justice. Hit them both like that.
Jeez.
That's awesome. All right, let's talk armor, because this is a big one.
Oh, boy.
Oh, can I just
Sure.
open a... did you notice, and Kaysee made me notice it last time, every time we say those things, like for great justice or refreshing, whatever, our characters' lips, they move now.
Yeah, they. I remember when they added that in. It's pretty cool, but it's just like generic, like.
We're
like, it doesn't
puppet.
matter. Yeah.
This is a bad Chinese movie.
Yeah. Another interesting thing, they added Torment to the game. There's no queues for Torment. If you get Torment, there's no queue for that. There's no queue for Immobilize either. But there's one for Cripple and a bunch of other ones. But anyway, alright, Naveen, let's hear your thoughts on armor. How does the way armor looks on a character affect the way you make a character?
Actually, medium armor I can't stand. It's all just same thing. Coats, long coats. That's unless you're like a thief, then you're a pretty skimpy thief. But then that's about it. I like the heavy armor a lot, and I like the light armor. It's just. And I really don't care about showing skin on a character, even though people are like, the less you wear, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah.
Well, I guess we should just kind of preface this, for those of you who don't realize, Norn, Human, and Sylvari all wear the same armor. Like, when you buy a piece of light armor, heavy armor, medium armor, aside from cultural armor, it's the same armor, just scaled up and down to size. There's no difference. Which I want to point out first that I think that's ridiculous.
I don't mind that, actually. I don't
like that if I'm a human and I buy this piece of armor, it looks different on a Char and different on an Asura, but the same on a Norn and a Sylvari. I mean, I'm a tree. I should have cool leafy armor. Not like I'm a tree covered in cloth, and unless I want to spend gold on one of 3, not that great in my opinion, cultural armor sets, I'm not going to look like a tree. I'm going to look like a tree with clothes.
Come on, Logan Thackeray armor? That's pretty cool looking, okay?
Yeah, but put it on a male Sylvari. Doesn't look... I mean,
okay, you have a point. Yeah.
But you can't, because it's human cultural, but... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just not the same. I don't know. Brahms, what do you think?
I bitch about medium armor all the time. That's... My two main, well, if you want to say my two main characters, my engineer, who is since gone away, and my ranger now both wear medium, and I feel like medium armor has very, very few options. It's mostly all trench coats. The stuff that's not trench coats is okay, but I've been struggling with Audrin to find a good set, and I'm having a hell of a time with it because I'm trying. She's a conservative type character for dressing, so I don't mind skimpy stuff. I just don't want it for her, and I feel like I still can't find a chess piece that I like consistently. I have 5 that I keep in my bank all the time, and I switch them out because every day I'll just decide I want a slightly different look than what I have. The light and heavy, I think, has a lot of different options, and those I like a lot more. And I think kind of what you were talking about earlier, Naveen, I know some people have criticized the light armor for being skimpy, but there's so much light armor in the game that you don't have to wear skimpy armor. There are a lot of light armor sets that cover your whole body, and you can mix and match those. So I think light and heavy are in a really good place right now as far as customization. Medium,
not so
much less so. Yeah.
Memory burn, how about you?
Well, same complaints about medium. I mean, I don't know if there's anybody who, from the time the game came out, didn't think that we needed more diversity for medium armor wearers. But one thing that actually kind of annoys me is human tier 3, and as much as I love it, I got it for my character, and then I felt so constricted by it. Like, I feel like I'm not allowed to dye it different colors.
Are you talking male or female?
Well, both, just because it's
the
like the serif, like Logan's uniform, kind of like, why would you dye it red? You know what I mean? You can, but I feel like I can't. And having that as a tier armor, it feels a little constricting. But I don't know. Besides that, like you said, with Char, sometimes they look so cool in armor you can't even recognize it. And then you put it on a human and it's completely different. You kind of feel ripped off, maybe.
Yeah.
The only complaint I would have with Char, though, is that the tails often have a problem with clipping, sorting armor.
Through every medium armor trench coat?
Yeah.
I like how they're putting out skins now that you can use for any armor class. And while I don't really want to see it so that anybody can look like anybody, but where they've limited it so far to hands, shoulders, helm, and then there's no silhouette in this game anyways, because an elementalist looks just like a necromancer, looks just like a Mesmer, thank you, or whatever. A guardian looks just like a warrior. But I think there should be something that tells you this is a heavy armor wearer. This is this is that. But I also like that they are adding. At least it gives a little diversity to the people who don't have the diversity anyway.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, because I mean, if you look at the Aetherblade armor, for instance, I don't know if you guys caught this. The human, Sylvari, and Norn is all the same armor, just scaled up to size. And the Char and Asura are the same armor too, just scaled up or down. So it's
male armor for females and males.
Yep. And that's kind of how it is with almost all, I think all Asura is male and female armor is exactly the same. There's no difference there. So that kind of totally squashing any individuality that any Asura is going to have.
I feel like, kind of going back to the spirit of your question, I do base my... when I come up with a character, I always come up with a background for them, because I assume I'm going to be role-playing with them at some point. And I have an idea of what I want that character to look like. And I feel like the armor can be restrictive to that at times. And so, this may be unpopular, I feel like we should be able to use at least the skins of any armor class on any character. So if I want my ranger to be wearing lighter armor, I should at least have the skins to wear that. or heavy. I mean, I feel like it would just give us a lot more customization as far as our characters go. But yeah.
I think more cultural armor is almost a necessity at this point.
Yes.
I don't know if you need to make it as expensive and tied to an achievement, but just give us cultural armor, or go Guild Wars 1 route and give us profession-based armor, kind of like what Memory Burn was saying. So I can tell, right now, really the only way to tell some things apart is if a Guardian has the starter shoulders with the blue ankh, or the ankh on the side, and that's not even true to form because you can transmute that out to a warrior. Or like a Necro face mask, or the Mesmer, or the Necro like glowy eyeballs, but you can give that to any light armor class. So, yeah, I liked profession-based armor. You could tell what somebody was from a distance. Cultural armor would be great. I want my Sylvari to be made of leaves, or leafy.
Yeah, Sylvari cultural armor leaves a lot to be desired, in my opinion. Although, I'm talking about medium again, and the medium is fairly terrible, in my opinion. So, I would love to see more stuff that we could pick from.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like after all, and the only other thing we didn't really talk about is weapons, and the scaling of weapons, which could be pretty influential, I feel, for some characters. Like a legendary on an Asura is super tiny, but on a Norn it's gigantic.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I'm pigeonholed into what I want to make my character. I'm down to like male and female human are a safe bet. Asura, depending on what I want to do with it, and then Sylvari if I can get past the voice acting. And then like I have 2 Char, and they're there. My Char engineer has stayed at level 44 for about 3 months. 44. And I've played that character, and I still can't get him up 1 level. But I'll go play on a human, and I'll be up 11 levels before you know it. But, yeah, I mean, it's nitpicky little things, and obviously we just fanboy and fangirl over all the great stuff that's coming in just before on the show. But these are little things that I feel, is something that means a lot to a lot of people in a game made entirely based on cosmetics.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I feel like this all kind of ties into something that I've been wanting them to do a lot, which is to give some love to role players. Because I feel like there's a huge role-playing community in this game, and it kind of gets pushed by the wayside. And I get it to a certain extent because a lot of people wouldn't really be excited about the role-playing updates, but there are a lot of people that would take advantage of it. And I think giving people customization options is always better no matter what. So the more they can add in that we can customize with, I think the better.
Yeah, I'd have to agree, and I agree with your comment you made in the Twitch chat. Why are there NPCs in the game that have sweet armor that no one has access to? Whether that be Black Lion, like the ones that you summon when you summon the merchant, or the Black Lion Trading Company guy, or the NPCs. Like, I want a crazy stash, like the crazy handlebar stash that Norn Black Lion Trading Post dude has, and his, like, Russian fur hat and stuff. Like, why can't I get these?
You can actually get that now.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, with the, if you use one of the kits we just got, the makeover kits.
Oh, okay. You
but
can.
To your point, exactly, that's exactly it. There's NPCs with really cool stuff that we don't have access to. And anytime you see them, you're like, I wish I could look like that, because that's awesome.
Unless you're like that one guy I remember after launch who spent, an hour tweaking every little aspect of his character in the tweak bar and everything, sliders and everything. And then the first Norn, and it was a Norn, the first Norn NPC he ran into looked identical to him. Like the starting NPC you speak to in the opening instance as a Norn, they looked identical.
That's hilarious.
So, I mean, there's an adverse side to that too, looking like an NPC. But, yeah, I don't know. That's a topic that I've been thinking about for a long time, and I really wanted to get a diverse group of opinions. And I know there's some people that change what they look like every week, every couple of hours, it seems, on some days. It would be good to have people on to talk about that. So, I don't know, closing statements? Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about armor and things like that?
I wish hammers were bigger. That's a different thing. I want to see massive, just huge hammers in this game. I don't like just something a bit absurd. They all have really small mauls on them, but
Yeah, I agree, and a lot of them are really thin, profile-wise.
and I went on a rant about foci today. Foci.
Mm-hmm.
Just how it's just a lump of something. There's no shape to so many of them. They're not things.
Mhm.
It's just, it fits with a theme, but it isn't anything. Like, who cares? But, I'd like to see wands as focuses. That would be cool. I know we have scepters, but just a wand or something.
That would be interesting. Yeah, I find I don't know many people. I don't play Necro, so I don't know. But like I find most people only end up using focus on Mesmer for the pull and the speed boost, and maybe Guardian for the blocks if you're going for a tanky build. But I don't know what it is on a Necro. But I feel like focuses are one of the least used weapons in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that's just me, but yeah, so that was a good talk, I feel. Got a lot out there, been bothering me for a long time. And I complain to these guys all the time about it, so I'm glad that I finally was able to formally express it and get input from everybody that still managed to stay around, all 17 to 20 of you who hung around.
Yeah. Hey, also, I want more, less cutesy weapons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alucardalina just mentioned Guild Wars 1 hammers, and I think it was Jorah carrying a hammer, and it looked like a rhino head or something. That thing was so cool. Where's
rhino.
that?
Yeah, and that was actually something we got for the collector's edition of the game.
Oh,
that hammer.
That was really cool.
Rhino head charge. Yeah, that's funny because one of the only hammers that looks like a hammer, I feel, is the Ascalonian hammer, which is a remake of one of the Guild Wars 1 hammers.
Right.
Because, if you look at, the Pearl hammer, the standard, exotic level 81, its profile, it's this long when you look at it, but when you look at it sideways, it's, this thin.
Yeah.
There's so many of them like that.
It's like a paddle. I'm not going to do any damage with that.
The elemental sword in Guild Wars 1, is that an elemental? Anyway, there's a blue flame and a red flame, but then I used to tease Aaron about it because he really wanted that sword, and once he got it, and it turned sideways, it was just super, super thin, so I used to tease him and say that it was a cardboard sword. So he used to get pissed, and then he didn't use the sword anymore, because he's like, it's a cardboard sword, and I'm like, yep, that's it.
Yep. Yeah.
Gone to fight bad guys in Bobby's World or something.
Yeah. Oh my God, Bobby's World. What?
Wow. Dang.
But yeah, the hammers leave something to be desired. As a primarily hammer guardian, there's only a few that I actually enjoy. And to go back to Naveen's point. And I didn't mention this to you guys earlier. We're going to get legendary gear. Presumably legendary armor. Is it just going to be Rainbow Fest?
Oh my.
I hope to God it's not.
It's going to be sparkly stars and rainbows. Shooting sparkly stars and rainbows. That's all I can imagine is the Bifrost, but the whole armor and the staff.
The Bifrost isn't that bad. The unicorns and butterflies and whatever.
Whip. Ugh, whip.
But do you guys not love this stuff?
No, I hate it. Don't you know me by now? God damn it.
I like some of the. I love the Dreamer personally because it shoots a unicorn with a ArenaNet cutie mark. And the My Little Pony fan in me freaks out about that every time. But I don't want armor that's like rainbow armor.
I don't even let my 2.5-year-old watch that show. This is stupid.
So is your face.
So is my face?
Yeah, it went there. But yeah. I want legendaries that look legendary. To be honest.
That's a very common complaint I've heard from people. Like the Dreamer, for instance, like it's okay, but what if someone wants a legendary short bow that isn't a cutesy weapon?
Yeah.
They have no choice for a legendary. So, yeah, I think it'd be cool if they do add more legendary weapons, which sounds like they're going to. I hope they're more serious this time around. No disco ball maces, for instance.
Imagine kind of player-created content where when you're making a legendary, it takes 4 parts, right? So one part could be craft your weapon. Another part could be what sort of effect do you want on it. Another thing could be color scheme. That would be pretty interesting. I mean, that's a whole other thing, but that would be insane.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
And I think, memory burn, this wasn't really because you weren't in Guild Wars 1. You guys remember the art contests, right?
Mm-hmm.
The design a weapon contest?
The ones I can never participate in because I live in Quebec. God damn it.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, they used to have, and actually a lot of those made it into exotic skins in Guild Wars 2, believe it or not.
Mm.
But there were some that they had a design a weapon contest, and the best winning weapons they made them weapons in Guild Wars, which was really cool.
That's cool.
I'll have to show you in Guild Wars 1 because I have a bunch of them, but some of them are in Guild Wars 2, like the Frog Scepter, and I think the Crystalline Blade was one too. I think the red and blue, maybe not. I don't know. But yeah. So there you go.
Dun dun dun.
I think Naveen's fallen asleep over there. I think she has been for a while.
No, it's just my stupid face.
Oh.
That's
Well,
what
at
it
least
looks like.
At least you're aware. Alright, so I guess we're going to wrap it up here, guys. Thanks for staying with us if you stuck with us through the end.
Thank you.
Be sure to let us know your thoughts on armor and things like that, and we will give you a shout out next week on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Alright? And thank you again to Memory Burn and Brahms for coming out and helping me out and making the Brocast rock all night.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. It was awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
And thanks for Naveen for being here and helping out and doing all the awesome technical stuff, coming up with the new background.
Being the conduit.
Being
The conduit.
conduit.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thanks, guys. It was great having you on the show, though.
It was nice. That was a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
All right.
It was a sausage fest plus buns.
Yeah.
The best kind of fest.
It's time to go to bed. I'm tired.
All right, guys. So, thank you all for coming out. So for after show banterness, I'm Lagwyn.
And
Memory burn.
and
I'm Brahms.
and I'm me, stupid face.
And, and we're sleepy, so we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
See you.
Keep those bushes trimmed.
Oh!
Ah.